Almost leading you to ECW. How about almost? I'm cool, almost.
All right, almost. So we're here every Tuesday night from 7 to 9 Eastern Time, almost leading you guys into ECW. So come back. Most of these guys do anyway. And then we've got our official website at WZR Radio is WZROnline.com. I got some bad news here for you in hour number 2. Looks like Jose is going to have to take off here at about 8:30 or so to go to the game. So we may have to end just a little bit earlier. You know, no big deal, no big deal. Be back next Tuesday. Like I said, 7 to 9 Eastern Time, almost leading you guys into ECW. So that's the bad news. The good news is we're going to run down Monday Night Raw here real quick, and then we are going to run down the draft. Well, I got you here, what happened last night, and then I'm going to let you go, and if we have any live phone callers, I will finish them up. I'll take any questions that you guys have. I'll let you go. Let Jose get out of here towards this game, and I'll get the phone calls out of the way, and then I'll wrap this shindig up. Sound good, buddy?
Sounds good. Hopefully, maybe sooner than later, I have the City of Norwalk, Connecticut recreational hotline on my speed dial. So I'm calling about every 5 minutes or so. So if I pause for a second, it's not because I'm ignoring you or I'm doing something else. It's just I'm trying to find out if they cancel the game or not, because it was downpouring, but now the sun is coming out.
Why would you ignore Clark? Why would you ignore Ryan Clark anyway? No, I'm just
say it again?
Oh, you heard me. No, you heard me. Dog. You heard me, dog.
Podemos fazer?
What?
Say that again, amigo.
You speak Puerto Rican on anybody?
I was actually French. Don't even ask me where that. I just asked you if you know how to speak French. I have to find where that came from.
Good one, buddy. Good one. You got me. All right, whatever. All right, Monday Night Raw from last night. We're going to run this down pretty quick. We had Vince McMahon came out, briefly mentioned that there was going to be a draft. Basically said before Donald Trump left, he made two decisions. What's that?
They had a 15-man trade. No draft. It was a 15-man trade.
Right. So Vince McMahon is now the owner of Monday Night Raw, and apparently Donald Trump has somehow made a 15
7 days later.
Okay, but we have a new owner of Monday Night Raw, so can't the new owner of Raw kind of, veto that decision, kind of turn it over? You know what I mean? I don't know. Some things just don't make sense. But it was for the better because it's always good when we have a draft and we switch things up. You know what I mean? So basically says that.
What was he wearing?
Vince?
Did you see that suit that he came out with?
No.
Man, I just recently started watching Raw in HD. I may convert back to the other one because his suit was he had gray pants and navy and baby blue jacket and a yellow tie. It caught my eyes because I was just like, wow.
See, I don't look at men's suits. I don't know.
It's just his suit. It stand out.
All right.
I don't sit here and try to. I'm just saying.
Whatever works for you, baby doll. I'll tell you what, the walk is.
You see, purple blazer. People pay attention.
Whatever, dude. Clark. All right, so Vince comes out, basically teases the crowd, says next week, or he basically teases the crowd, says, do you want me to give you full refunds? Da-da-da-da-da. He says, Trump does that, I don't. And then briefly mentions the draft. He introduces Batista as our guest host for last night's show. He goes on to make several matches. He makes Triple H versus MVP, and help me out here. What was the other one? It was a Triple H versus MVP and a gauntlet match. And the main event, the gauntlet match. Randy Orton versus the Raw acquisitions from
3 of the 5 of
Yeah, so I don't know. We started things off. This is another thing, MVP, a guy that I would love to see them push this guy, but then you put him in a match with Triple H, and come on, man. For a number one contenders tournament, Triple H versus MVP, we all knew the outcome of this one, where we had Triple H go over basically the pedigree and got the win. So he advances in the tournament. And we had Edge and Chris Jericho in a rematch for the WWE Unified Tag Team titles versus Primo and Carlito. I thought it was a botched spot at first where Carlito went to jump off the second rope, I believe it was, and on the outside, Jericho and Primo were out there. And when they showed the replay, you could see that Jericho shoved Primo into the ropes, and that teased tension between Primo and Carlito, which will culminate next week on Monday Night Raw, where one of those guys, well, we talked about it earlier, but one of those guys turns on the other, and looks like they're going to set up a feud between those two, probably a mini feud, and then what they do with those guys, boy, I'm losing my voice, what they do with those guys after that remains to be seen. Once they do the one-on-one contest, you know what I mean, Carlito versus Primo, remains to be seen. But I thought the match was great, you know what I mean? Edge, Jericho, Primo, and Carlito, all four of them great workers, you know what I mean?
It's amazing that that they put this match the way they put it. I mean, I still think, I guess just, the Colognes, I'd rather have them not break up. That's just the reality. Anything more than that is just, I kind of find it questionable in that respect.
Yeah, but the problem is how long are you going to keep Edge and Jericho? Because they're two main eventers. You know what I mean? I mean, they're not mid-card guys anymore. Jericho and Edge are both main eventers. And when they have the tag team titles on them, sure, it brings credibility to the tag team division. But how long can you continue that? Because that's basically taking two of your main event stars and dropping them down, if you will. I mean, I know they're still champions, but they're tag team champions, and they're not vowing for the world titles. You know what I mean? So how long?
Well, it's simple. I sit there and I said the same thing, and I'm like, then you start really thinking kind of like behind the scenes, like why was this even put together? Like, what's the reason behind this? And the only simple reason that I can really think about the reasons why is, one of the main reasons why is Edge injuries. I mean, Edge has injuries.
Right.
So, putting him in a tag team gives them that chance to breathe a little bit more rather than performing for 10 to 15 minutes.
But then you also have them being unified tag team champions, and you had them work two matches last night. I just posted something before we went on the air where Jericho posted on his Twitter that, he was a mess after wrestling two matches last night. You know what I mean? And it's like unified tag team champions, so they're going to have to wrestle on all three brands or all four brands if you count superstars. You know what I mean? So it's not. I mean, sure, you get the tag team work. It's not one-on-one, but they are gonna work a bunch of shows.
And that's another reason too. I mean, I would love to see those two on ECW, which I believe they made the announcement where Tommy Dreamer and Christian are teaming up against each other. Against, I think I slipped my head.
What?
William Regal and,
is that tonight?
Yeah, it's tonight.
Did they
I was just at WWE.com, but my page is not loading, and I know I saw William Regal's face. I know I saw Tommy Dreamer. I saw Christian. I just can't remember.
Let me go to WWE.com right now. I'll pull it up here. But here we go. Our ECW main event. By the way, I just checked for spoilers. Here it's Tommy Dreamer and Christian against William Regal and Vladimir Kozlov.
That's who it was. It's still not loading.
Yeah, I got
Mind you, have a cable modem.
Well, here's the problem with ECW is they're on the West Coast tonight. I forgot about that. So we are not going to have spoilers until later. ECW is actually going to air live tonight on Sci-Fi, and they're going to tape SmackDown after it. I apologize earlier. I totally forgot that they were on the West Coast. So
I like that, though. I like ECW live. It's a little bit unpredictable, and WWE has a chance to showcase. And I really think, too, is you'll start seeing some newer, younger faces debut. We know that AAA wrestler Los Cajas Jr. Recently signed with the WWE, and he's not going to be put into the market. He's actually going to be the young market that is down south. He's definitely going to be on one of the shows, and wouldn't surprise me if we see him start within ECW.
Hey, I tell you what, we got to fly because you got to jump out of here at 8:30. So let's just we'll just recap the matches because I want to talk a little bit about the draft on WZROnline.com before you take off on me. So we had John Cena won by submission over The Miz. You know, we talked about that earlier in hour number one, where I thought, you know, out of the two matches, I think The Miz should have won one of them because